Good morning mga katrib and welcome to another episode of Daily Tribune Straight Talk where we discuss current issues that matter to all Filipinos and to each of us. I am Komfie Manalo and we are live on Daily Tribune's Facebook page and Tribune Now on YouTube. Mga katribu, we've always been discussing about insurance and how the insurance penetration in the country is very small. In fact, latest data from the Insurance Commission show that only 3% of the adult population in the Philippines has insurance coverage, and but unfortunately, the insurance industry has been innovating itself and trying to reinvent itself and come out with new products. And fortunately, we will be discussing today how the insurance sector has reinvented itself, so that the digitization innovation in the insurance sector has allowed the industry to be one of the biggest or one of the fastest growing industries in the country. So to discuss more about that, we have today Mr. Berta, the country managing manager at Igloo. Igloo is an insurance technology company that provides people-first insurance services that are simple to understand, easy to use, reasonably priced, honest, and relevant. We are constantly looking for new smart ways to eliminate inefficiencies, such as the time-consuming procedures, unnecessary insurance agents, small print items. It's about using advanced design and technology. Please welcome Mr. Berta. Good morning, Mr. Berta, and thank you for granting our invitation to guest in Straight Talk.
Good morning, Komfie. Thank you for having me here.
So let's fire off the first question. So, Mr. Berta, good morning to you. How is technology changing the insurance industry landscape?
Well, imagine that the insurance industry is an industry that hasn't been disrupted in hundreds of years. If I'm not mistaken, I think that the Medici of Italy, they created the banks and the insurance industry. So today, we still have the same player, which is an insurance company, which underwrites the risk. But what is really disruptive now is the distribution of these products. So we partner with all the major insurance companies in the Philippines and in Vietnam and in Singapore and Indonesia, everywhere we operate. We digitalize their product and we distribute them through more innovative channels, for instance, Gcash, Shopee, and so on. So we are just one of the stakeholders of the digital insurance disruption that is happening around the world. I think particularly Southeast Asia having their own complexities, and bancarization, insurance penetration offer the biggest opportunity.
So you've mentioned that the insurance sector hasn't been disrupted over the past 100 years. And the most disruption coming into the industry is, of course, not distribution. So which technologies are disrupting the insurance technology or the insurance sector?
Well, there are various insurtech operating in various situations and touching various pain points. What we do, which comes from our mantra slogan, Insurance for All, is democratizing insurance distribution. So before we arrive into the Philippines and operate in the Philippines, you could not buy a gadget protection program for your phone or laptop for 30 days duration. You have to buy a 365 days, 12 months duration, which of course is more expensive. So just by lowering the amount of time that the item is covered, we automatically open an unknown market, right? Maybe people want to insure the gadget only if they travel because they're afraid that it gets stolen or lost, or they're traveling 1 or 2 hours, 7,000 beautiful islands, and they falls into the water. Which happened to me multiple times.
Same here.
So I know this pain point firsthand, right? So that's exactly where we operate. We have about 50 products into the market. We are completely industry agnostic. We help logistics company, we help food delivery company, we help e-commerce company, wallet, banks, telecoms, and so on.
So you mentioned that the key to increasing the penetration of the insurance industry to the Filipino market is to democratize it, so that we can provide insurance for all. So, how does democratizing the insurance industry become the future of the insurance sector?
Well, there are some hurdles, obviously, because insurance is a very traditional business. So we still need, an insurance company that has a license to underwrite, undertake, and onboard the risk, and they're very good at doing what they do. We are not taking that task in the ecosystem. We take their product, digitalize it, and distribute it. I think that through our technology today, pretty much there is a nationwide coverage of internet. And you know, a farmer, if he wants, can pull out his phone, open Gcash, buy a personal accident insurance for 30 days, right? That was not the case up to, let's say, 2 years ago. Right? You still have to go to maybe a pawn shop, buy an insurance for 12 months, right?
So off cam, you mentioned that one of the strategies that Igloo and the insurance technologies are employing is to offer granular products for the market compared to traditional products or insurance products. These granular products or granular insurance coverage are have more acceptance to the market. How so? How and how granular is granular insurance?
Yeah, that's an excellent question. So we can grow as granular today coverage for 30 days, even 7 days, right? So you can insure your dog. We were discussing this in the pre-briefing. Something that you couldn't have done before. Before, if you have to insure your dog, I wouldn't even know how to do it. Before we existed, before we came with the Malayan product on Gcash insuring pet insurance, I wouldn't have no idea how to insure a dog, right? So today you just have to take a picture of your dog and he's insured. So that reduce a lot the accessibility of product and coverage. But we design what we call a gig protection. We have a whole team. The only does is gig protection programs. Food Panda, for instance, the Food Panda riders, they're using our insurance when they're actually working. So we can cover riders when they're actually on the job.
Okay.
So we can go as granular as that.
So it means the digitization has allowed the insurance sector, or the insurance space, to simplify its procedures.
To distribute better, be more affordable, be more transparent. If you look at all our products on Shopee or all our platform where we distribute it, there are no small letters, there are no asterisks, there are no, it's like, we have a product called Hospital Cash, for instance, no? And the Hospital Cash policy wording says, as long as you go to the hospital, you can prove it, you get your money back. Period.
So because
there is no small letter, nothing to hide. That's it. You know.
One of the issues with insurance was one of the main reasons why most Filipinos are hesitant to buy insurance coverage is because of the fine print that they can understand. So now you're saying with the digitization process involved in the insurance sector, it's more transparent and it's easier to claim from your insurance.
Yes, it's not only about that. It is not a Filipino issue. It is a worldwide issue, right? Nobody wakes up in the morning and says, "Yoo-hoo, I'm going to buy a personal accident insurance." You know, people always think about insurance when it's too late. You have a car accident. Damn, I wish I had an insurance. You have a motorcycle accident, you break your phone. Damn, I wish I had an insurance, right? So I think it is part of, it's our part, is the government part, is the insurance part. Every stakeholder in the insurance penetration in the Philippines, they have to educate the consumer about the importance of getting covered.
Yeah,
right. So everybody has to play his own role. We're doing as much as we can on our side. We have complete support from the government. We have complete support from our partner. So we are totally going into the right direction. Unfortunately, we were starting off from a very low base, right? So, but the base is multiplying. Every year is multiplying.
Yeah, and you said that all the stakeholders has a role to educate the consumers or the public that it's a need actually. So how does the transformation or the innovation in the insurance sector evolve to meet these consumer needs, and how will the metaverse let's touch on that metaverse play out in this new future of insurance?
Well, I think we have been capable, thanks to our partner, to design product, for instance, that did not exist before. Like the gig economy protection program we designed. I just mentioned one Food Panda, but we have a number of products into it. This is something that, first of all, gig economy did not exist up to a few years ago.
Yes.
So the industry takes time to create programs around it. No, there are finance company that their only job is to finance motorcycle for food delivery companies. No, of course, without food delivery, you will not have food delivery riders, so you will not have those companies, right? So we cannot do the same in insurance. Disruption and technology, it is really our DNA. We do see some products, for instance, that they work in Vietnam. We're probably going to touch about index later. And we can see the similarities and the challenges between Vietnam and the Philippines. So we do a rollout test for the very same product in the Philippines. And sometimes vice versa. So the actual gig economy protection program that we designed was designed in the Philippines for the Philippines. And then we see working very well, and we export it into Vietnam and Indonesia.
For the benefit of our viewers, let's talk about gig economy. What's gig economy? Although I've been involved in the gig economy since 2006, I think. I was the pioneer. I was one of the pioneers of that. And then, so what's gig economy, and what products do you have to cover this gig economies?
Yeah, so for lack of a better term, let's say the gig economy is everybody working as a freelancer.
Yeah.
But let's
Actually,
to
freelancing,
overly
yeah.
simplify.
Yeah,
I don't want to overly simplify it, but for the sake of our audience, let's say that is for freelancing. So that can be, you know, a food panda rider. That can be a Grab taxi driver, but that also can be a work from home freelancer that is taking job in Upwork, I think it's called now, right? Or whatever outsourcing system. So we design, we are actually about to launch our first work from home product, which is designed for let's say households that produce income by doing social selling. So they bake cakes all day. They take pictures, they put it on Instagram, they sell it through Instagram, they get money through Gcash. But, you know, unfortunately, one of the workers or, you know, the family all put her hands on the fire, and she got burned, right? By cooking the cake.
The cake.
Right? I'm not an expert in cooking cake, so I don't know exactly how the technology works, but if she has our work from home insurance, she will be covered for the burns and the job that exactly has to be done.
The lost income opportunities. Actually, to be for another perspective for our viewers, I started writing as a freelance writer for foreign publications in 2006. So I was involved in you can call it gig economy. I was writing because I was writing for as a freelancer, although I was hired full time by these foreign publications. Because I was working from home, I actually have 3 jobs simultaneously. So that's one of the beauties of so quote unquote freelancing. And we have a very interesting discussion with Mr. Mario Berta here, but we have to pause for a short break, and we will be back. We'll be back after a few reminders from our sponsors.
Nasa kamay mo ang swerte, ngunit hindi ito isang laro na para lang sa'yo. Dahil bukod sa pag-asang maging milyonaryo, ang pagtangkilik mo sa loto at ipapang produkto ng PCSO ay nakakalikom ng pondo para sa mga programang pangkalusugan, tulong at serbisyong medikal at kawang-gawa.
Welcome ka dito sa SM. Come as you are. Mahilig ka man sa pabago-bago o sa paikot-ikot. Yung nag-a-adulting or parenting. Ikaw na kulot, white-haired, purple-haired, kayong magkaibigan na nagkaibigan. Buong barkada. Yung gusto mo, chill lang. Or gawin yung feel mo lang. We know you're changing. So we're changing with you. Come on in. We're all in. At SM, you're always welcome here.
And welcome back to Straight Talk. And here again with us is still Mr. Mario Berta, Country Managing Director at Igloo. Sir, before we took a break, we were talking about the distribution and the disruption of the insurance industry, which has been never been disrupted over the past 100 years. So let's move on to another topic. So is the insurance industry ready to insure metaverse specific risks? Because we've been hearing about metaverse, the as the new business model. So how are we? Is the industry ready to insure metaverse specific risks such as digital fraud and digital assets like blockchain based tokens and NFTs?
Okay, so I think we have to divide it into segments. We have a gamer protection program, which is widely
Popular
distributed
here.
and widely popular here and in Indonesia. Actually, Philippines scores very high on e-game teams.
Yeah.
So we have a number of e-game teams that are using our gamer protection program. And of course, when I saw the product the first time, like, these are 16 years old kids. What kind of problems they can have? But then you realize that by playing various number of hours, they have some sort of like problem with their shoulders,
Back pains.
exactly, back pains and so on. So I was shocked myself about the product itself. So that it does exist. It's widely available into the market. Now we do also have cybersecurity risk program, which is distributed through GCash and soon through at least 2 banks, which would like to bundle this with their debit card products. As metaverse per se, I'm still a bit reluctant to understand exactly. I mean, first of all, okay, let's say I don't understand it. I look at the latest number of Facebook that pumped billions into it and got like 10,000 people into it. So there is this famous picture of Mark Zuckerberg being alone in the metaverse, right? So I think it's a bit premature to speak about insurance. I think it's premature to speak about metaverse in general. And then insurance in the metaverse is very, very premature. Lastly, on blockchain, our weather index insurance, which is the one that was very successfully launched in Vietnam, will soon come into the Philippines. It uses blockchain technology to transfer proprietary information between the farmers, the bank, the satellite, and the system. But it's not that we are going to tokenize it. No, that's not what we do. We use just the blockchain technology to transfer information in a very secure way.
Yeah, we will discuss more about that weather index later on. So another question is with the automation in underwriting processes and the digitization of claims brought by the adoption of technology in the insurance industry, are we also looking at an increase in the insurance penetration in the Philippines? Will that help?
I mean, I think if you manage to automate claims, which our technology already does in a very big chunk, I'm going to give you a concrete example in a second. So if you manage to automate claims, you need less people to look at claims. So the overall cost of insurance goes down. So you can bring that saving to the consumer in a very simplistic economic terms, right? Today, if you buy our gadget protection program in, let's say, GCash, there is nobody checking at your phone. You are required to take a picture, but the picture is scanned by our proprietary technology and algorithm, which scans the picture, identify the screen of the phone, and identify if the phone has already a crack.
Okay.
So in order to avoid abuse, right? So this is completely automated. You get approved in a matter of seconds, right? We don't have anybody checking at that insurance policy. So like this, we are capable to reducing the delivery cost of the service, hence to bring savor to the consumer.
So you're using artificial intelligence to do that?
That's correct.
Because the AI will have to analyze if your claim is not fraudulent or valid.
That's correct.
Because one of the like we've discussed earlier, the problem with traditional insurance is of course the claims, and then you're saying now with the digitization you're using all digital, all automation, using AI, and then the claims process will be faster because there's no human intervention.
Yes, for the vast majority of it. We are not impeccable. The technology still has a long way to go. There are also a number of other factors depending what kind of claims if you're processing. Let's say that you're processing personal accident, you have a broken leg. We need to check the X-ray. We need to check the invoice. We need to check the inpatient report, outpatient report. I mean, for as much as our technology is very advanced, we are not fully automated yet. It is a matter of time, and more and more will become. I mean, not us. The industry will become better at it.
The Philippines is home to 70% of our population are active internet users, and almost I think 80% to 90% of the population have smartphones, meaning there's a big number, or up to 80 million Filipinos have access to internet and access to mobile phone. And will the development of insurance mobile app see an upward trend in the development of quick adoption by the policyholders? Meaning, will the policyholders will have better access to insurance products like what you're offering with like in the Philippine market, we have a large number of population who are more digitally savvy or technologically savvy.
Yeah, absolutely. So Southeast Asia scores very high on digital savviness of their population. Young, active, digitally active population. These are very good demographic indicators. For a very specific segment of population, we are designing actually an SMS-based insurance. So even people that, I mean, penetration on smartphone is 100% in the Philippines, no questions about it, right? Internet penetration, I would say it's 100%, but geographically, no, meaning that, maybe a barangay in a remote island in northern Luzon doesn't have internet all the time. They come close to the biggest city and they have internet. So technically they can have internet access.
Yes.
So for those population, we are designing now a SMS sign-up system, which they need to simply send an SMS.
So let's now move to the Philippine market situation regarding the insurance industry. What products do you offer for farmers? Like we've discussed the blockchain or the climate change or the weather index that you mentioned. So let's talk more about that. So what insurance products do you offer for farmers to mitigate the impact of climate change and the supply chain disruption caused by the COVID-19 pandemic?
Well, there are two separate issues, right? So unfortunately, COVID-19 reduced business on everything. So there is not much we could have done on insuring people for COVID purposes. There was travel insurance related and so on. As of today in the market, we have a number of products for farmers, and we're bringing a very disruptive one, which is weather. The one that the farmer can access today are through our rural bank partners network. When they do get a loan, they will be bundled with a personal accident insurance. So in case they break a leg and they can't work, they will have a reimbursement, right? So actually the rural bank are really pushing for it because they, unfortunately, that's everywhere in the world. If you have a job in the field, a lot of things can go wrong and you can maybe lose a leg, right? So we're covering this aspect. Now, weather insurance, it is a very disruptive technology that we're bringing it. The problem of insuring crop loads, or let's say rice in a field, is that sure, a farmer walks into, let's say, a land bank branch, gets a loan, he gets seldom insurance for his crop loads of rice, but then we need to send a kuya to appraise the land, and then eventually send a kuya to appraise the damages that the land happened. Right, that's what the expensive part is.
Yes.
Right? So we digitalize all this process. We have interconnected with the Japanese satellite company, with Pagasa, where we basically, in a very simplistic way, we tell our system to tell Pagasa to let us know when there are heavy rain on specific part of, let's say, northern Luzon, right? Then we have a mathematical calculation made by our servers that if there are heavy rains of higher than certain bars into very specific areas, we are pretty much sure that the farmers in that area, they have been affected by damages, right? So we automatically, and this is the real disruption, we automatically trigger the reimbursement. The farmer gets an SMS and says, please walk to your land bank branch 003. You are entitled for 3,000 pesos, 10,000 pesos, 500,000 pesos reimbursement. Right?
So
the farmer doesn't even have to claim, right? The claim will be automatically detected
Wow.
by our satellite.
Yeah, that's very interesting. So farmers can now insure their crops
Yes,
to
full star rice.
yeah, to damages caused by the weather,
Yes, rainfall for now.
rainfalls for now, and that would be very interesting because the Philippines has always been frequented by heavy rains, and how can farmers avail of that service or
They
the
can't
product?
yet. We are designing. It is a complex product because it requires a tremendous amount of technology, which it's our DNA, so we don't have problems to deliver that. There is some layer. We need distribution partner, we need local insurance, we need most likely an international reinsurer. So
Reinsurance, yes.
the reinsurers, for the audience that doesn't know, are organizations that insure the insurance companies.
Yeah.
The biggest one are Hanover Re, Swiss Re, and
Lloyd's,
etc. So these are the insurance company or the insurance company, right? So we are putting all the stakeholders together. Obviously, when we offer to a London-based insurance company to reinsure rice field in the Philippines, they're like, whoa, give me a moment to digest all this information.
Yeah,
Okay, so it is a lot of work.
And talking about the digestion of information, one of the issues among farmers is, of course, the financial access or inclusion. And these technologies are very new to them, and could be a challenge to explain to them. But of course, they understand the benefit. The basic benefit is of course that if their crops are damaged by rainfall, they'd be insured, they'd be covered, they'll be reimbursed for it. So, and then of course there's an issue of another product that you have for farmers is, say, if they get injured, they'll have accident insurance. So, who are you partnering with? Which company are you partnering with, so that these products can be understood by the farmers, and so that these products can be accessed by the target market, which are the farmers?
Yeah, so I can mention name in concrete at the moment, at this stage, but we always think, a farmer, where does he go in his daily routine? No, he goes to a sari store, most likely. He goes to a pawn shop for whatever reason, maybe not necessarily to pawn something, but maybe to buy a load, right? So we're looking at what are the farmer touch point in his daily personal business routine, and these are the partners which we would like to talk to and partner with in order to deliver this product.
Okay. And then you've mentioned that you are applying blockchain technology with this new product that you're offering about weather insurance. So how does that play out? What are the potentials of blockchain that you can use to solve some of the agricultural pains?
Yeah, I think the potential blockchain there is the transparency, right? Meaning that there has to be fundamental trust between all the parties, right? So the reinsurance sitting in London needs to see the satellite detect a heavy rain in North Luzon. Otherwise, it will not trust the claim of the farmer that goes to the insurance, they go to the reinsurance in London, right? So we use mostly blockchain technology for transparency on the transaction, right? API integration will do just the same without using any blockchain technology. But API integrations are not very transparent. You can pretty much say and do whatever you want with it.
So very interesting. As we progress with our discussion with Mr. Mario Berta, the things are getting excited, like especially with the farmers, because I grew up in a farm when I was in college, so I know the pain points of these farmers. But we still have more questions for you, Sir Mario. But first, let's take a quick break, and Straight Talk will be back.
Josel Dariaga po.
At may taba sa David,
Dahil sa dagdag singil ng generation companies, 8 centavos ang increase ngayong November at 9 pesos and 95 centavos per kilowatt hour ang overall electricity rate.
pero magmahal man ang bilihin, lahat ay kakayanin para sa mga mahal natin.
Anak ko ang liwanag ng buhay ko. And I will do everything to protect her. Gusto ko handa siya. Dahil alam kong bright ang future niya.
Ano man, hindi mo na kailangan gawin lahat to.
But it makes me happy, anak.
Iba ng panahon, ang dami ng bago ngayon. Pati ang mundo natin, well, nabago na rin. Buti ang bayan, bigger, better na. You can buy it sa centers, pati sa mga partners, may online pa at app. You can buy it with your fingers, still don't remittance and more. Online shopping, you can buy it all. Di magpadala, you can buy it all. Anumang pera transaction, you can buy it all. Sabayan ang pagbabago ng mundo for all your pera transactions, all new Bayan.
And welcome back to Straight Talk. And here with us is Mr. Mario Berta, Country Managing Director at Iglo. Before we took a break, we discussed how blockchain can increase the transparency and trust among stakeholders, so that when there's a claim from a damaged crop to from the insurance and then to the reinsurer, there will be trust, because that's what blockchain does. It provides immutable data, so that it won't be hacked, it won't be changed, and what you put there stays there forever. So to touch on that more, how can blockchain adoption increase the farmers' productivity, and how do we teach farmers to adopt blockchain technology in their operations?
Yeah, well, I think you need to simplify the product. I barely understand blockchain, so I'm not sure. If farmer necessarily, do they even care, right?
Yeah.
They care. Listen, I got my rice field flooded. Can I get my money back so I can go back to work?
Yeah.
That's what they should be caring about.
Yeah,
So
the benefit of it.
Yeah, most of the time, consumer, they know that they receive something. They don't really know the technology behind it.
Yeah,
And it's not that they're not supposed to know, of course, but it's like, if you want to simplify the product, you don't start to throw too many information because it complex.
Yeah.
It makes the product overly complex to understand. So I think that the farmers should have peace of mind that they get our product through a reputable distribution partner. That can be land bank or a pawn shop or you name it, or a cooperative, which you want to talk to all of them, and they get flooded the rice crop, they get their money back. That's all. That's peace of mind. That's what insurance should give, right?
Yeah. Besides, consumers don't buy the product; they buy the benefits. So if your crops or farm is insured, then you get a peace of mind, like, because if anything happens to your farm, if it gets damaged by rain floods or typhoon, then you know that you will be reimbursed somehow. So that's the benefit of it.
Yeah, I mean, what happened at the back end, the reinsurance in London, should not be. I mean, I think farmers have bigger problems than understand what's happened behind the scenes.
Yeah, I agree. So we've been talking about the weather insurance, weather index insurance that Iglo has been developing. So let's talk more about it. Can you expound on that? What is the weather index insurance, and how will it help farmers to increase their productivity?
Well, increasing productivity will. We're not an agricultural technology, right? Yeah. So increasing productivity in a defined environment won't happen. What it does happen, it gives them a parachute of productivity in case there is an accident, right? So they get, in practicalities, they get cash. With this cash flow, they can restore the land, dry. I don't know exactly how it works. How the land has to dry, obviously. So they will be able to have this parachute safety net for the next cycle, more than increasing the productivity per se.
So meaning that they'd have a type of a sort of forecast on the weather patterns.
No, well, it's unfortunate we can't predict the weather, otherwise we will be gods.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think that they will be able to. unfortunately, we know there are at least, if I'm not mistaken, 20 typhoons a year hitting the Philippines. Some of them have destruction level, some of them are only damaging level. Very, very, very unfortunately. So it is pretty much guaranteed at some point your field will be touched by some sort of calamities, right?
Okay.
With that, you know, you have a parachute that in case of something happens, you have money. To resolve that problem.
Okay. So let's talk more about the Igloo per se. What products do you offer for the Philippine market, and why did you choose the Philippines for your expansion?
So we offer more than 50 products, and they go from lifestyle, which are, you know, gadget travel insurance, to gift protection cover, cyber protection, pet protections. We have very product concrete to logistics. Let's say we cover goods in transit from A to B, obviously, or A to B to C. But we also have a product that covers goods while they're stacking in their warehouse. So the warehouse A is scanning item 1. That item is, from the moment he entered the warehouse for the next 100 days, will be insured. Generally, warehouses, they count the SKU, the inventory, every 60 to 90 days. So if an item is damaged or stolen, then they will claim an insurance through us. Okay, just it's something we haven't touched upon, so that's why I elaborated. So that's one. And the second question was? Sorry?
So
What kind of products?
what kind of products?
The expansion in the Philippines.
Yeah.
So Philippines is one of the VIPs, you know, Vietnam, Indonesia, and Philippines. So as probably the biggest insurtech in Southeast Asia, we cannot not be in the Philippines. You know, it's a country that, you know, first of all hosted me for more than a decade and so on. So iGlue operated in the Philippines already before my arrival. I was, let's say, instructed to restructure the business and branding-wise, marketing-wise, and bring it to the next level. I think also Philippines contributed a lot to our growth. At some point, Philippines was 40 to 50% of iGlue revenue. That's because, you know, it's a country that offers tremendous potential and opportunity to grow. In the latest stage, just last week we announced our new round of funding. We raised $46 million to further expand in the business. Means that, you know, we will invest more in the Philippines, especially in terms of talent. I have 15 people of a team now, tremendous talents I have in my team, and the next step for iGlue in the Philippines would be, you know, investing more in talent, bringing more technology, simplifying insurance, and so on.
So let's talk about your latest fund series. So where did you launch that funding series, and which areas in the areas in the Philippines that are you planning on expansion?
So I assume we started our fundraise 8 months ago. You know, market conditions haven't been the best lately, but I think we have a number of unique value propositions that allowed iGlue to reach the level of funding. So first, we operate in a region of the world where Amazon doesn't operate, for instance, you know, or operates above certain threshold, right? So we are pretty much monopolistic market in most of the market where we operate. For sure, in the Philippines, we operate in a monopolistic situation. We are the best and biggest tech insurer company you can find. So that was one of the items. Second, I think it has to do with our growth. Venture capital, they like to see exponential growth. If your company is growing 10 to 20%, it's not a gain for venture capital. They want to see 100% a month grow, month-over-month growth. And third, we operate in a very traditional, highly regulated, with high entry barriers industry, right? It took us, you know, more than a year before we started to launch any product here because we need to comply with regulations. And obviously, big insurance companies, they put their face into the market. They have a huge brand equity position. They don't want to risk that, you know, iGlue makes a mistake for whatever reasons and it doesn't work. So it took us time to build and acquire the trust of the big insurance partner that we have. Obviously, I completely understand them, but because of our continuous relentlessness and constant delivery, we are where we are. Like I mentioned before, I think our investments would be on talents. I personally, that's probably the most interesting part of my job as a CEO. I mean, I don't talk to insurance company anymore. I have people that talk to insurance company. I don't talk to distribution partner. I have people that talk to distribution partner. 99% of my time as a country manager, CEO, manager, whatever it is managing my people, right? And bringing them from here to here to here to here. Oh. So that's something that I truly enjoy in my day-to-day job. So investing in talents, and then, you know, continuously bringing disruptive technology into the market to always be on the top-notch forefront and state-of-the-art technology into the market.
So was the 40 million within your target, or have you exceeded your target?
We exceeded the target already last quarter.
Wow, very, very good for you. So I've covered several events or several press cons about digital insurance, and I've been hearing a lot about embedded insurance. And if, in fact, you did mention that you also want to develop products and collaborate with some banks, so that Igloo products will be included in the offering. So can insurance really be embedded?
Yeah, so let's, for the audience at home, explain what embedded means. We are specialized in embedded contextual insurance. What does it mean? Means that, you know, you're buying a phone on Shopee, and we embed you an insurance which is contextual to your purchase. So we embed you a phone insurance. Right?
Okay.
So it makes sense.
Yeah.
It means it makes sense, right? You're not buying a phone and we try to sell you a travel insurance. That will not make sense, right? So airline around the world were pioneering this, where, you know, you don't know how, but you always buy a travel insurance, although you don't want it, you know? So that's embedded contextual insurance. So the future of insurance is embedded, meaning we should be able to bring so much volume into the market on insurance products and policies that the price should go so little that for the consumer should be a no-brainer to buy, just to have peace of mind.
And that the insurance coverage should come before we actually need the coverage.
Absolutely.
So much that we would like to learn more about you. Thank you very much for being
Komfie.
here,
Thank you for having
Mr.
me.
Mario Berta, and hopefully we can have you again. Do you have parting words for our viewers and our readers?
Well, first of all, guys, it was a true pleasure to be hosted. I mean, I know people don't wake up in the morning and say, this morning I'm gonna have breakfast and buy an insurance, right? But insurance does provide a peace of mind. Remember not to remember it when it's too late.
So thank you very much, Mr. Mario Berta, Country Managing Director at Igloo, for gracing us with your presence today. And with that, I am Komfie Manalo, and this has been Straight Talk.
We would like to thank the following: Araneta, Pag-ibig, SM Supermall, Veteran, Divina Law Offices, ICTSI, Xlog, Globe, Kia, PLDT, Cherry, Tanawan, Prime Homes, RLC, Pure Gold, Meralco, and SM Retail.